Oh, yeah. Welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. Woo! My name is Tom, and I'm a fantasy sports addict. All right. Today we're talking about the possibly the last TGFBI mock draft of the preseason.
I'd say the last slow one.
Yeah, the next one will be like hardcore fast craziness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it'll get kinky, but this one is hosted by Dynasty One Stop. And Nathan from Dynasty One Stop hosted it. Whee! And I'm glad I didn't miss this. I got out of the hospital just in time. Whee! All right, so this is the Dynasty One Stop mock.
The TGFBI, the Great Fantasy Baseball Invitational.
What is that? Andrew, tell us what the TG, what is it?
Well, the
FBI.
FBI is hosted by Justin Mason, and it's I forget the exact number, but over 300 fantasy analysts going at it to see who comes out on top.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. How do you get into this?
You gotta be in the industry. Now that sounds like a lot, but all it really means is you need to be writing articles, for any website about fantasy baseball or doing podcasts or things like that.
Or you could bullshit your way in the way we did.
Or you could do that. And the thing I love about it is it's I think the purpose beyond getting people to compete, from the big name sites, but beyond the competition, it's about inclusivity. Like, you don't have to be some guy on TV or on radio, but you got a little website. All right. It's about, I think Justin Mason would say it's more, or at least as much about the competition as it is bringing people together in the fantasy community, which sounds cliche and cheesy, but it's cool. Like, I mean, if you get left out, you got to be a pretty big slapdick because it's not that hard to get in.
Well, no, I was gonna say it's about like networking and yeah, like you're saying, the inclusivity. I mean, that's the best part about it. Like, so this is the third year. It's been a lot of fun. Nate's joining us this year. Yay!
Yeah, and there was 195 year one. I think last year was 320. God, I know Andrew already mentioned it. It's in the 300s again, but it's even higher than last year.
390 or something.
Yeah, it might be approaching 400. It's up there, and you got guys from all sorts of sites and publications. Like, there's ESPN, there's Fangraph guys, Pitcher List, like you name it, they're in this thing.
Daily fantasy guys.
Yeah, Yahoo. Like, I mean, that's what's cool. If you get to rub elbows with some of these guys that you might have followed over the years.
Very interesting. Well,
that's fun.
Let's talk about our mock here. This mock ski. This is what is this?
I was gonna say, if we got to say this invitational, it's standard 5x5 for you folks that don't know. So that means average and wins. Boo.
Yep.
And it's roto, obviously.
Yeah.
And two catchers.
Yeah, two catchers.
Two catchers. My God.
Corner infield, middle infield, one utility, 9 pitching slots, 7 bench, and it's on NFBC, which means no IR and no trading.
No trading. No IR.
Yep, just like that. It was like that last year, the first year on NFBC, and it's going to be like that again. My God. And every league is 15 teams. You can have a league winner, and then of course there's an overall champ. Well, I think we've all had varying degrees of success in this thing, but
yeah,
we're mocking because we want to rebound from last year. We kind of all slapdicked it up a little bit last year.
We did. We slapdicked it, and we want to get back to the good life, like a Weezer song, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you and I were top 50 year one, and you like to get at least back in that range, if not better.
Yeah. And Andrew, you plan to join us there?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do this thing.
All right, so let's get to it. What pick did you have, Tom?
Well, okay. In this particular draft, we had. Should we name everybody who's in it?
No, because they're all handles, so I don't even know their real names or what all the sites they're from.
Well, I
But
was just gonna name their handles.
you could. I don't think anyone will really care.
All right, fuck it. All these guys. All right. Like I said, fuck it. All these guys are doing the TGFBI leagues.
Yes.
I don't know if. I mean, I don't know if we're in leagues with any of them. So
I don't think so.
I don't. Yeah.
I hope not. There's a few slapdicks. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm in a league with Roto Nino. That's
Oh yeah,
Jorge.
he's a good guy. He writes for Fantrax.
Yeah, it's good people, baby. Okay.
So you had the number 1 pick.
I did. How did we do
I
this?
had
Just some random order?
I had the I had the 11th. And what'd you have, Andrew?
I had the 6.
Okay, so let's just go through the first round. Who went where, Tom?
It went relatively chalk. Trout, that was my pick. Wee over Acuna. I don't know why, but Acuna went second. Yelich went third. Here's where it got a little different. Garrett Cole went fourth.
Mm-hmm.
And Bellinger fifth. Story. Andrew, this was like a kind of, I liked this. This was Andrew getting aggressive about something we talked about in the past.
Yeah.
Where Story's
a little bit for Story. Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, Story gives you pretty much everything you want in a 5x5, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So Lindor after that, people were probably like, whoa, I got Lindor, whoa. Betts all the way down here.
And this was before. Betts got picked before.
Traded later, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. So Betts 8th, DeGrom 9th.
Yeah, Turner, Verlander, Soto, Bregman, Arenado. And here's where the turn is. Tatis. Now that I love that. Like that, if you like, I would take Tatis. This is my assessment of the first round.
Especially if you're at the turn. What does it matter if you pick him 15 or 16? Like if you want him, go ahead and grab his ass. You know what I mean? Like obviously it's now or never if you're on the turn.
Well, and that's just the fact that he made it that far. I mean, I would take him over probably Turner, probably Betts.
No. I think he's too volatile. I believe he had the high of all qualified hitters. He had the highest BABIP in the entire major leagues. It was like well over 400. So I think his batting average is definitely not something you can expect to be as high as some of these other guys in the first round. So I would definitely take Betts over him.
For me, assuming Jose Ramirez's second half was him, and obviously we'll get into him. He's the very next pick, but how much different is Tatis going to be from Jose Ramirez?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I see a future superstar right there, man.
And shortstop is incredibly deep. So for me, when in doubt, especially early, don't keep someone else picking another position. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, but I would more represent. I mean, like, you know, I think has a higher ceiling. I think Tatis is more like Jose Ramirez type player, more than a Mookie Betts type player.
Yeah, I can see that, and I don't know what else stands out in here. Is of course pitchers are flying fast and furious.
Well, no, your logic. Let's hear your logic on the Verlander situation where you skipped over Soto, Bregman, Arenado, and Tatis yourself.
Well, it's this is what our third mock.
Yes,
I think in one of them I took Cole first. Let's try it out. So I wanted to get back to that and try it again. And I mean, premium pitching is obviously hard to find. Last year it was really harped upon, and some of us in the TGFBI got burned with some of the early pitching we took. But I don't think we should be reactive and just totally run from it. I think it's paramount. You need to get an ace early, at least one. Maybe if you want to wait till round 5, 6, 7 to get your second one. Okay, fine. But in the first few rounds, you get such a leg up on the competition. And some of these pitchers like DeGrom, Verlander, Cole, they weren't just top 5 pitchers. They were top 5 overall players in this format.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like,
Well, and you
Garrett
need
Cole.
exactly that, yeah.
Yeah, so you can't just be prejudiced because they're pitchers. If they're gonna get you a top 5, top 10 value overall, why aren't you taking them there? So, as much as I like Soto, Bregman, like once it got past Turner, which obviously steals is another hot commodity. Once Turner was gone, then I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my ace because Soto, Bregman, Arenado. I don't like Tatis's floor, and some of the other hitters. They're all good, but they're all very similar. And so once Trey was gone, because he's obviously dissimilar from them with his potential for 40 steals, I said, you know what, I'm going to pivot to Verlander, go ahead and get my anchor of my staff.
Makes sense.
So that was kind of my thinking there.
Okay, so we keep moving, or
Yeah. Let's go in round 2.
all right. So at the
You
turn
want me to
there,
run through them? You want to run
Yeah.
through them? Save you some breath, and
why not?
We can alternate.
Sure, why not?
Because that's a lot of.
Okay,
I'm
gonna
hijack this thing, but you know,
No,
what I mean? Like, I feel
I'll
bad
pass.
if you have to name. I feel bad if you have to name, all these
Cool.
guys every round.
we'll just pass it at the turn. Okay, passing at the turn here for Roto Nino's pick.
Okay, round 2. Pick 1 overall 16. Jose Ramirez. Then it went Freeman, Bueller, Scherzer, JD Martinez, Bryce Harper, Rendon, Devers, Clevenger, Judge, Bieber, Mondesi, Starling Marte, Altuve, and then Alonso finished round 2 at pick 30.
Woo!
Now, I'm going to go ahead and start right there because I like to mess with you.
Boo!
Which is,
Boo!
I can't get on board with Alonso as a top 30 pick.
Boo!
because of the average. Like if he regresses, which he likely will based on his profile, and he winds up hitting.
Just taking him a pick later, so he's not in the top 30.
No, I don't think he should go in the top 50. To be honest.
What?
Yes. Just hear me out here.
He's gonna go baby.
Maybe top 50 is egregious, but if he regresses, which his profile suggests he should, he winds up more of a 250, 40 home run guy.
Hey.
And instead of the 260, 270 guy who was last year, you're essentially paying in round 2 for a 3 category guy because obviously he doesn't steal. So you're getting home runs, RBI, and runs for your second round pick, and that's it. And ideally, early, like this early, if I'm picking a hitter, he better at least be a 4 category contributor. And especially when you got guys going later that might put up comparable numbers like Schwarber, a Conforto, a Fran Meal, that could hit you at 250 and approach 40 home runs as well. I just think Alonso's going way too high. Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say, with Pete Alonso, like you said, you want at least 4 categories. And I know that Yordan Alvarez doesn't have a position; he's utility only. But Yordan's can hit for better average. I mean, they both won Rookie of the Year, but it really wouldn't be shocking that Alvarez would be pretty high above Alonso at the end of the 2020 season. Like, he will give you the average.
Yeah, I'm more confident Yordan puts up 270 or better, and when league average for average was 252 last year. 270 plus is quite good, so I consider that him a 4 category guy.
Positional scarcity, damn it.
Yeah, but I mean, does that really exist? I mean, it does, but I think sometimes it's overrated.
I bought into it, damn it.
That's okay. That's okay, baby. Beyond that, how many pitchers we have go here? We got Bueller, Scherzer, Clevenger, Bieber.
Yep.
Jesus. Yeah. You guys find any issue with the order they went? Bueller, would you take anyone above someone else? Do you have Scherzer over Bueller? Or are you too worried about his back? Or would you take anyone else higher? Would you take Clevenger above all those guys? Or
no?
Where are you at with those pitchers?
I don't argue it. I'm not on the Bueller train, but mostly because he's going earlier than I would take him.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with the order. I'm a little bit lower than Bieber on most. I don't think I'd take him in the second round over someone a little bit more established, but I don't have a problem with the order.
No, I totally missed this live as the draft was happening. I didn't realized Mondesi went 27th. I get steals are scarce, but there's no way. There's just no way I'm jumping on that early.
Nope.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
So guy jumped on strikeouts, jumped on stolen bases.
Mm-hmm.
And I jumped on home runs, I guess. Whee!
Some ding dongs. You guys still okay with drafting Astros, or you think they should drop a little bit because of the trash can banging? Like Altuve at 29. I don't think it's a steal or anything, but I think that's a pretty good price.
Seems reasonable. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really discounting them over.
Yeah.
Still major better. I don't think cheating matters that much in fantasy.
Yeah. Some of them are falling though, and some of these like draft champions on NFBC, like their ADPs are slipping a little bit. But anyways, all right, round 3.
At the turn. Whee!
Let's go.
All right, so then I took Strasburg after Alonso. I guess I should have taken Strasburg ahead of Alonso for you.
No, you have the turn, so the order doesn't matter. I mean,
well, you were like, I don't like him in the top 30. I was like, fine, I'll take him. Well, all right, but here we had a nice little run of pitching. It was Strasburg,
holy shit, yeah,
Sale, Flaherty, Luis Castillo, and then some second base, Ozzie Albies, which that's pretty good. I think that's about where Albies should go. Yeah. Charlie Morton after that, George Springer. I'm just not a Springer guy. At the gay bar, Kettle Marte, Yordan Alvarez. Who's this? Oh, Javier Baez. Your guy, baby. Vladimir
good value this year.
Austin Meadows, Blake Snell, Charlie Blackmon.
Once again, pitching is ruling the day. How many is that? 4. We got 5. 6 pitchers went in that round.
Yep.
That's fucking nuts.
And this is the first round I took a pitcher, and even though I took my first pitcher in round 3, and I'd still rather have, and not that Morton. I think I had to take it earlier because I want a better number 1.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you wait too long, and suddenly you're like, I mean, it gets ugly. You get past pick 100, and like, okay, there's some SP3s after there. But once you get a little further down, like 150 and beyond, and especially 200 and beyond, I mean, it just turns into dog shit real quick.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why I was like, I'm getting Strasburg.
Yeah, I love that Strasburg pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've talked about this with the other mocks. Yordan, I don't think there's necessarily a problem with taking him at 40.
Wait, did we do this in the right order?
Yes, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. But you know how we feel about Nelly. Very similar, or a player that's projected to put up very similar numbers with an NFBC ADP in like the 80s.
Yeah.
So it's, you know what I mean? It's like, so as much as I like Yordan, there's nothing wrong with taking him there. I'd be tempted to maybe reach on Nelly a round or 2 later. And beyond that, I think Javi, like I said, is a great bargain this year. Like, yes, he swings and misses, but he scolds the ball. Projection systems still like him for an average in the 270s, 30 homers, 15 to 20 steals. Like, if you're getting him in the 40s, like even with shortstop being deep,
yeah,
I just feel like Javi's like, I avoided Javi last year because he was borderline first rounder last year.
Yeah.
But this year, I'll take him, in the 40s or round 3, whatever, all day. And then you mentioned Albies. I mean, you said positional scarcity. If it does exist, it's second fucking base. Yeah, it definitely is.
Well, I know the sting of that. Now, what I'm noticing here is something strange. This must be either Nate set it up incorrectly or something's weird. But I'm seeing Yordan Alvarez listed as a left fielder.
On the draft results
It
page,
says
when I
utility for me.
Yeah, it says utility for me.
So you're on the results. I'm on the
Oh, the colored page.
the grid.
Yeah, I'm on the by round.
Oh, okay. That's probably why I'm having trouble reading some of these because it's like the colored card. I'm like, well, who's this guy in the purple? That was your Javier Baez.
Yeah. I'm by round's a little easier to make out.
Yeah.
All right. Anything
All right,
else
so
stands out about
swinging.
round 3?
Oh,
Anything else?
No,
Just
that's
looking at
all.
this.
That's all about. Yeah, I mean, again,
Vlad, I'm still not taking Vlad this early. I mean, he'll be great one day. I just don't think he's making that jump quite yet. And especially third base is so deep. I don't think I'm going to take him there. But anyways, round 4.
Forskies.
You want to rattle it off there, Andrew?
Oh yeah. So we got Patrick Corbin, Xander Bogaerts, Keston Hira, Manny Machado, then Nelson Cruz, Matt Olson, Jonathan Villar, Anthony Rizzo, Luis Severino, Zach Greinke, Kershaw, Chris Bryant, Stanton, Goldschmidt, Nola.
Oh yeah.
All right. And who I took Nelly 50th. Tom, you took
Nice.
Nola. You took Nola 60th. And then what did
Yep.
you take, Andrew? Oh, Greek Dog
Yeah.
at 55. Is that that's just your
That's my
second pitcher, I assume? Okay. And that's a solid SP2. Where are you guys at on Keston Hira? You guys buying him this early, or a little worried about the strikeouts?
I'm not touching.
Not touching. What about you, Andrew?
I probably would take him in the top 50, depending on the situation. I do like him there.
Okay, fair enough. And what about VR? Like, I know steals are hard to come by, but God damn it, it's Miami. Like, I'd much prefer him like round 6, like in the 70s or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, it's like Albies are pretty much nothing. After that, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, like you had that pull with the second baseman rounds, like 3 or 4 ADP. I mean, you get past them, and yeah, there's of course options, but those are kind of the upper echelon guys. Like, okay, if you miss the boat, we might as well wait a hot minute. If you miss out on Albies or Hira or Kettle, if he's second base eligible, or any of those guys.
Yeah.
Try to see what else stands out in this round.
Yeah, I guess I'd take Kettle just for the second base because he is second base eligible.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know he's injury prone, but Stanton at 58 could pay off big time for somebody. And we say that every year if he can stay healthy, but
if
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, but like,
there's the if fairy.
But and I also like Goldie this year. I know he scuffled, but at pick 59, and considering like you mentioned how shallow first base is, like he did rebound a little last year. He is a guy that he won't steal anymore. But would it shock you if he got back up to 280 with 35 bombs? Like, that wouldn't surprise me.
He's starting to fall into Pujols territory for my taste.
But
it's like you guys paid for the back end of Pujols, like in the long run.
Well, yeah, there's
Cardinals fan,
31, 32 now, whatever he is.
Yeah,
that's still a good player.
It's like when you guys let Pujols walk, and now you picked up Goldie.
But at 59,
I think Goldie's got more left. You know, I mean, Pujols injuries really drug him down.
Also, he's like 5 years older than his actual age.
Well, listed. Yeah, I'm 16. He's like he killed the kid that was supposed to show up.
Yeah, it's
stole
like
his ID.
Sir, you have a horseshoe pattern. All right, let's go to round 5. I'll rattle them off.
Okay.
Tommy tapped some more power with Eugenio Suarez. Then it went Darvish, Giolito, Bichette, JT Realmuto, Moncada, Robles, Paddock, Gallo, Syndergaard, Sanchez, Glasnow, Jimenez, Eloy, Soler, and Josh Bell at pick 75 to round out round 5. Go.
Okay, here's Paddock I think is a good pick in this range. I want to ask you guys about Giolito. What are your thoughts there?
I'm buying. I'm buying
yeah,
this year.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, okay, so you think that's for real, like without the track record?
Yes,
I mean, it's not like it's out of nowhere. He was a pretty high prospect,
I
Yeah, he's
I understand that, but we're not like
yeah. Well, he's got the pedigree, and then coming into last year, he made a tangible adjustment in his pitches. I forgot. I don't know if it was going more towards high fastballs. I think that might have been the change.
okay.
But he made a change. It wasn't just some complete fluke where he just happened. You know what I mean? Like, and most of the underlying metrics support him. And you got to also think about Grandal's might be the best framer in the game.
Okay.
That will
Mhm.
help. So based on the advanced metrics, the acquisition of Grandal, slowly improving team. I'll buy him there.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like ahead of Paddock.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So then Noah, where are we at on Noah?
Andrew or
I'm not
Anybody?
exactly sure where I stand on Noah. I mean, we've seen I've seen the Twitter arguments of was he bad, was he good last year? He's a complicated pitcher.
yeah, he is because I'd have to look at his like heat maps for his zone, but I feel like he's a guy that doesn't throw enough high fastballs, which seems insane because we all know he throws 97, 98 on the regular. So it seems like that'd be something he ought to do. But instead, he's throwing a lot of these fastballs or sinkers down in the zone, which are more apt to get hit. I don't know. I don't think I'm buying Syndergaard at that price. His K percentage has dropped for 3 consecutive seasons,
That's frightening.
and so I think I'm fading him this year at that price.
Okay.
It's a little interesting that Darvish went before Paddock, Giolito. Those pitchers. He went 62 overall, the second in the round 5.
Yeah, well, recency bias is a hell of a thing. I mean, his last 20 starts, he was one of the top 5 pitchers in all of baseball.
Yeah, it
So
says
I'm
he's
sure.
back,
Yeah.
baby.
I love Darvish. I thought maybe coming into the year I'd be thought like, well, he had a great finish, but maybe he'll fall. But and he's has in a couple drafts, but not here.
Yeah, these people that we're drafting with, I mean, they know the numbers as well as we do. So they see the finish he had and the underlying numbers. I think round 5 is about right for him. I know early in the draft season he was going closer to 80, but he's moving up. It seems like every draft I'm in, he's just moving up. Where are you guys on in Bichette?
I'm pretty excited.
Okay, yeah, I think I like him in this range too.
I mean, I like a combo. If I can combo him with like, I don't know, somebody early. Who am I thinking? Maybe like a Story, or you know what I mean? Because this is a situation where you gotta.
Well, I think if he's your first shortstop, that's not bad. And like if you, because the elite ones went super early. So if you're settling air quotes for your starting shortstop as Bichette, that's not bad at all.
There's some nice upside there, but I'd like to pair him. I like to like have that little handcuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you can put him with somebody that's like a Trey Turner.
Now, I guess
it would be middle infield. Well, I was just gonna say that middle infield shortstop kind of thing where you've got those positions to fill, and again, stolen bases are at a premium.
Yeah, and he's one of what is it? I think he's one of 12 or 13 players that Steamer projects for 2020.
Ooh,
and that's not very
steamy.
That's not very many players. And I guess we were remiss if we didn't at least mention the top 2 catchers both went in this round, just a handful of picks apart from each other.
Biggity bam, biggity bam.
Now, usually we I hate catchers. I think most of us, for the most part, hate catchers.
Yeah.
But there was an interesting article by a couple guys that write on Fangraphs, Zimmerman and another guy, Cohen, who mentioned how, especially recently, the past couple seasons, they're actually good investments in that they usually return the value based on where you draft them. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to jump for catchers, but there's some interesting data they had. They're usually a good bet to retain most of the value. So I'm not taking them probably in the real thing. I just wanted to try this out in the mock. But if it's not one of those two guys, then I don't know why you're just not waiting a while beyond maybe a Grandal or something. But beyond that, if I'm not taking them now, I'm taking them at the end.
Yeah.
And I guess one last thing in this round, Glasnow. I'm not paying that price. I can't do it.
No, that's what I was going to ask you guys about. Like Glasnow, which one of these things does not belong? You know, like
the upside is sky high.
Yeah,
but it's just a pretty big risk as far as innings pitched. Hello. All right, want to move to the next round?
Yes, we do.
All right, go ahead, rattle them off.
Okay. All right. Okay. Donaldson, Whit Merrifield, and he's nice and speedy. Jose Barrios. Yeah, I would have taken Barrios over Glasnow. Okay.
Definitely safer.
Marcus Semien, Tommy Pham, Josh Hader, Roberto Osuna. There goes some closers. Yeah. Max Muncy, Jose Abreu, Ramon Laureano, DJ LeMahieu, Marcelo Ozuna, Carlos Correa, Trevor Bauer, Kirby Yates. Okay, so 3 closers in that round.
Yeah, and that's about the time I guess you expect them to start popping. And I guess for those of you who don't know, if there wasn't an overall element to TGFBI, we'd probably just want to wait a little longer, or maybe even punt saves to just go for a league title. But with the overall, I mean, it's a necessary evil. You got to get at least 1 or maybe even 2 established closers. It sucks, but yeah.
I mean, if you don't, I mean, otherwise you're just going to be right. Like that was year 1 for you, just constantly on that fab thing, just chasing saves with everyone else in your league.
Like I said, at least 1. And then maybe if you want to fill in 2 with the second and third guy that could take over, okay. But if you can't walk out of this thing with not at least 1. The overall is going to be hard for you to compete in.
That was my thought. That's why I took Yates. Whee!
I love Donaldson. I mean, that Minnesota line is stupid. It's just stupid. He's going to just mash. So I love that pick there.
Yeah.
I like Abreu every year. Seems like he's in the 70s or 80s. And every year. He seems to be a top 10 first baseman.
There you go. Set your watch to the guy.
I mean, he's boring, but that's a guy. If you want to grab your first baseman, I mean, you pop him in round 6. You could do a lot worse. I remember I clowned Nate a little bit on Correa. Where are you guys on Correa?
I might have let Correa ride a round or 2.
Wait, yeah. What about you, Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously all that potential, but I don't want to rest on him as my number 1 shortstop.
I think
can't do it.
I think Correa would have swung back around to him. Like, just looking at what these next 4 picks are, like, just swinging around the turn here. Right?
Yeah, I'm looking at
Bauer,
that. Yeah.
Yates.
He would have. Yeah, he would have, I think.
Robert, Grandal, McNeil. And it's not like he would have, you know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't have been going for any of those guys, and clearly none of us were taking him. Like, I don't think anybody was like, damn it, I didn't get Correa.
Not in here, Peep.
No.
And in the lobby or anywhere else about.
And again, you could have gotten Correa on the swing around, if you really wanted him.
Yeah, I think he probably would have.
I might have liked him on that. But yeah, so swinging back around in round 7, you want to do that?
Talking to me?
Robert? Yeah,
Oh, sure.
whomever. Yeah.
Okay, I'll run through it quick. Yeah, you took Robert, 91st overall, then Grandal, McNeil, Eddie Rosario, Chapman, Mancini. I love that pick, Andrew Castellanos, Chapman, Soroka, Woodruff, Kluber, Sonny Gray, Otani, Zach Gallen, and Cookie Carrasco. Close out round 7, pick 105.
Okay, that was a huge run on pitching there. Soroka,
Yeah,
Woodruff,
I'm looking at that.
Kluber, Gray, Otani, Gallen,
It was,
Carrasco.
it was the entire second half of the round.
Well, that's, I mean, and the majority of the first half is, outfielders. So
Yeah.
your third catcher. So that after Grandal, get out of the catcher market pretty much.
Yeah, just wait. And
Maybe
you
Wilco, but yeah.
You knew Robert wouldn't slide anymore, so you popped him. I mean, obviously, there's risk, but all the projection systems like him.
Yeah, he wasn't going to be there, but I wanted to make that little splashy, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. Yeah, I wanted to make that kind of pick statement, ooh.
Well, I think it was 2 years ago. I remember Acuna's ADP was right around this area, like between 75 and 100.
Okay.
I remember that. So he's not Acuna, obviously, but he'll be up in April. He has a potential for at least, 2020 I think is reasonable if he gets the bats. The average I don't trust, but he's probably worth a roll of the dice, especially if you look around. You're like, a lot of these guys kind of look the same, or nothing's really blown my skirt up. Let me pop the upside prospect. I don't know if that was your thinking, but
yeah,
I could understand if it was.
It's around this point where this is like the last group of pitchers I'm comfortable to have a number 3. This is it really falls off after the Gray, Gallen, Carrasco type.
Oh yeah. After that, after Carrasco, you're now you're on that desolate, just lonely highway, just whoa, nobody's out here, man. Woo.
Yeah,
you're in no man's land after that. And
yeah,
you know what?
Then pretty quick.
Well,
excuse me.
Yeah, I was gonna say after that, it's in cartoons where they're walking through that old spooky woods and you hear some sort of howling sound and bats and owls and
yeah,
Scooby-Doo shit.
I will say I think I'm cool with most of these pitchers that went this range. Maybe not Gallen anymore after the news I saw on Twitter about him having to earn a 5th spot, which is ridiculous.
I don't buy that. They're just trying to motivate him.
But Soroka, good pitcher, but he really reminds me of Kyle Hendricks.
Yeah.
I would rather wait 50 picks and take Kyle Hendricks.
All right. Are there any pitchers that you would not take in this range? Just would not, just because of bias or whatever reason, injury, anything?
I don't know, some people really love Woodruff, and I get it. He has some decent underlying numbers, but I do worry about the fastball. The numbers on the fastball aren't that great, but Kluber I gambled on a little bit.
Right.
I do trust his track record, but he does have a declining fastball. But as late as his last full season in 2018, he still had 2 great secondary offerings. He was still a top 10 pitcher. Someone had a tweet, I forgot who it was. It's what if before the line drive that broke his arm, what if his first 7 starts were 3.2 ERA? Where would he be going in these drafts?
Yeah,
because his first 7 starts were terrible, but he's usually always terrible at the beginning.
Oh yeah,
it's his MO, and then he turns it on and he's a great pitcher. So, but at pick 101, I'll roll the dice. I think I prefer him as my SP3 if I'm rolling the dice, but in this mock, I waited a little longer, so he's actually my second pitcher. But is what it is. I guess on one other note, McNeil. I like McNeil. I like him quite a bit, especially
Not
if you
here.
need average, but not here. I'd rather take your guy, probably, and Andrew's guy. I think Andrew likes him a lot too.
Oh yeah, dude.
Brian Reynolds has a very similar projection, and he goes, I don't know how many picks later, 80 picks later. Like an incredibly, no second base. I get it, but I'd rather take Brian Reynolds later at pick 160 or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Than McNeil there. Rosario's continually underrated. 280, 30 home run type guy. Other than that, Mancini, I like the Mancini.
Yeah, he's kind of my last, like, because I'm gonna use him at first base, like, most likely if I'm taking him.
Yeah, and you're kind of based on his numbers last year and the projections, he should be going higher, but I think we're getting Baltimore discount, so take advantage of it.
Well, speaking of discount, I want to ask you guys something. Because of Ohtani being stuck in a utility slot for no good reason, and would he be going like if I'm just looking at what I think his value is as a starting pitcher alone, okay? Because this is a weekly league, weekly lineups, so. Right? Like, you're not going to be able to play Ohtani on offense and have his starts and stuff like that.
And that's why he went, because I don't think we mentioned TGFBI is weekly. So that's why he fell to where he went, 103rd.
I'd put him.
But daily?
Probably.
Top 50. Well,
yeah, I'd put him, like, after Giolito, at least. Like, ahead of Paddock, ahead of Syndergaard, Glasnow, all that bullshit after that.
In a daily league, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, and again, and a dynasty, though, a daily dynasty, what is his price?
Oh, God.
Infinite.
Probably pretty high.
Infinity.
Right. We're not sticking to the 2-3 minutes per round.
No, that's true.
Let's go to round 8.
Okay. Where are we? Round 8?
Round 8.
Frankie Montes, Gavin Lux, Max Kepler, Gavin Lux. I think we just all kind of, Mike Moustakas, Lance Lynn, Oscar Mercado, Eduardo Escobar, Eduardo Rodriguez.
2 Eduardos in a row.
Eduardo. It's the Eduardo slide.
I was expecting to see Carocchio on the next one.
Yeah, no, Eduardo Carocchio. That's Team Eduardo. Liam Hendricks, Robbie Ray, Tim Anderson, Max Fried, Zach Wheeler, Andrew Benintendi, Madison Bumgarner. Yeah.
All right.
What do you guys think?
I'll just start. I think the best value in this round, and maybe one of the better values in the draft, especially with second base eligibility, Mike Moustakas. Mm-hmm. I think he's absolutely going to mash at Great American Small Park.
Yeah, Small Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Eduardo probably is not going to repeat. So, I mean, you got to slide him down a round or two, even where he is now.
Yeah, I keep winding up with Lynn in these mocks. Like, he's nothing more than an SP3, but I don't know. People just seem to be, like, overlooking his great year he had. And then you look at some of the numbers. It's like, yeah, you do worry about a couple of his pitches getting hammered, but his cutter is just fucking absurd. He allowed 0. He threw his cutter, like, I think it was over 500 times. Maybe even more than that. I think he gave up 0 barrels on 500 cutters thrown, which is absurd.
Good Lord.
I think Tim Anderson, he's not going to win the batting league, the league batting title or whatever again, but I have no problem. I mean, a guy that's a decent bet for 2020, he might hit 280 instead of whatever the hell he hit last year, 330, which is not repeatable, but
right.
I think a lot of people are discounting him. I'm perfectly fine with taking him here in this range. Beyond that, I think did the Dodger trade happen in this round before this round? Is that why? So I'm just wondering with the Lux thing. I think it did happen before this round. But if he has playing time,
may have, yeah.
But if he has playing time, I mean, I like Lux, especially in Dynasty.
Yeah, but I don't see him. I think people are overvaluing him.
Yeah, that very well could be. Beyond that, I know a lot of people are in love with Max Fried and what he did down the stretch. Wheeler should have a better year because doesn't have the Mets' terrible infield defense behind him anymore.
Right.
So I'd like to think he'd be like, I don't mind Wheeler as an SP3. I think he could put up a sub-4 ERA and strike out per inning, that type of guy.
We all have nice SP3s. You got Robbie Ray there, Andrew.
Yeah, I was hoping something like Montas would have fallen, but I mean, Ray's gonna give you strikeouts even if he does have a little bit north of a 4 ERA. I probably wouldn't take him as early if we were doing this over again, but I like Ray.
He'll give you nice strikeouts, and if he's having a nice year, you'll get a nice year. He has those up and down years. Okay, so then I got Manish and Bumgarner. Woo!
I mean, it's your third SP and where you took him.
Well, my line of thinking there was just like, okay, he's like the anchor, like just that like depth guy, like you can just pencil him in because he's going to be the ace for the D-backs, which whoop-de-woo, but that's your third SP that's starting, twice a week usually.
I think it's fine. And then I guess we go ahead and flipped around 9. Then you completed your turn by taking Cavan Biggio.
Mm-hmm.
Then Brad Hand, Miguel Sano, Michael Brantley, James Paxton. That was a auto pick.
Was it? Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. Ken Giles, Luzardo, Jansen, Danny Santana, Edwin Diaz, Puig, Hoskins, Contreras, Garver, and Rogers closes out pick 135 in round 9.
So a little catcher stretch there with Wilson Contreras and Mitch Garver. No thanks.
Yeah. Again, if I'm not getting one of the first 3 guys, I'm probably just chilling for a while.
I mean, I understand it in TGFBI where you have to have
with 2 catchers. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I still, even then, after that, like, it's like having that top closer. If you're going to go for it, go for it. But, like, after that, you sit back, And, like, like, Wilco's not a sit back kind of catcher. Neither is Garver.
I like the Edwin Diaz pick. I think last year was a fluke. His skills are still elite. So.
Oh yeah, that terrible. What was it? It was like It was 5.5 ERA. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was weird because the skills really haven't changed. It was so good, So he's a prime bounce back guy. If he goes at 130 in the real thing, to me that's potential steal. I mean, he's got top 5 closer potential. I think last year was just kind of one of those pop-up years where he just didn't have it or had bad luck.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, his pedigree shows that he's not that, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have that ERA kind of situation. It's not like something that's recurring. But strikeouts, that's a recurring trait. Look at that, 58 innings, 99 strikeouts.
Yeah, it's pretty absurd.
Yeah, and so like if that ERA comes down even into the 3s and 3.5s, like
I think it could easily do that. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. So that's pretty nice.
Another pick I like in this round. It's boring, but right now there's only, I think, like 55 players projected to hit 280 or higher. So Steele's average, like great average, it's hard to come by. I think Brantley is a nice boring pick that's going to give you 4 categories playing in that Houston lineup. The homers won't be massive. They'll probably be in the low 20s. But when you couple that with a 290 average, 80-90 runs and RBIs apiece, I think Brantley's a nice boring pick, especially maybe if you missed average early. And you're trying to kind of help that category out a little bit. I think he's a nice – and pick 124. I think that's just good value there.
Yeah, that's a smart pick there for him.
I like the Cavan Biggio pick. I've been finding myself drafting him a lot. I know the strikeouts kind of question if he can get the batting average up that much, but he's a crazy player with how much he strikes out and walks.
Yeah, OBP leagues. I mean, if you got to share him in an OBP dynasty, it's pretty not bad.
You know who that almost reminds me of? Mark Reynolds.
Oh,
and I hope he's
Right.
not like Mark Reynolds. But when Mark Reynolds came up, like he was supposed to be like a second baseman, shortstop. He ended up at like first, then he ended up at third, and back at first. And
I mean,
I
we
don't
know Biggio will steal more bases. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd go 2020.
and I also like this pick. I mean, more so in OBP, but again, first base is not as sexy as it's been in years past. But Hoskins at pick 132, I think that if you've waited for a first baseman, I think that's fine. The average won't be great. It might be like 250. But he slid a lot. He had it down. I mean, he was going, what, top 75 last year?
Yeah.
Something like that. So he's dropped quite a bit. And I think that price is fine if you want to jump in on a first baseman. You haven't got one yet. I wouldn't have a problem. Assuming, he fits with your team. Maybe you already have an average pillow fluffed. Go ahead and nab him there, because shortly after that, first base looks really shitty.
Yeah.
There's some decent values later, but
yeah,
it's not that pretty. But anyway, we're at 50 minutes here. Let's move to round 10.
Okay, Ahmed Rosario, Dinelson LeMay, Michael Conforto, David Dahl. This is Elvis Andrus. What would he do?
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Hendricks, Mike Minor, Corey Seager, Jorge Polanco, Franmil Reyes, Kyle Schwarber, Raciel Iglesias, Craig Kimbrell, Carlos Santana. Whoa. Matthew Boyd.
And I like the Boyd pick quite a bit, by the way.
Yeah, just that late with that kind of strikeouts. And even if the ERA sucks, I am expecting him to be like, look, I put it together.
Yeah, well, there was a great graphic. I don't know if you saw it, where it was showing K to base on ball percentage. And on the y-axis, and then on the x-axis was ADP. And then so you kind of have the little curve there with the line, all the little dots, all the players. Of course,
right.
Most of the guys that are high on the K to base on ball percentage were way on the left because they go early. And then you had a couple dots way on the right because ADP is way later. And it's like Boyd, Andrew Haney, a couple guys, Lance Lynn.
Yeah.
A couple guys you seeing like up on the K to base on ball percentage, but way down the curve because their ADP is much later. So, but yeah, maybe you don't get great ratios, but how many strikeouts this dude have last year? Wasn't it like 238?
Yeah.
238. 1.23 whip. That's not, I could live with that. I mean, God forbid, like you said, maybe he puts it together a little bit and he gives you a closer to a 4 ERA or a sub 4. I mean,
yeah.
And if he's your SP 4, that would be your fourth guy, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do a hell of a lot worse. So I really like that pick quite a bit.
Me too.
What about you, Andrew?
I like Corey Seager here. I think he's in for a good rebound for 2020. And I mean, I feel like he even fell a bit here. I mean, it's almost pick 150.
Yeah, I have not liked Seager. I think he's just a boring player, but it picked, like you said, in the 140s. He's going to give you a good average, plays in a good lineup. I'll buy Seager this year at that price for sure.
I do not like him here. I do not like him there. I do not like him anywhere.
I don't like him anywhere.
Yeah.
I do like the Reyes Schwarber picks back to back because it makes me think of that Spider-Man meme where it's both Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just low average, huge power guys back to back.
Well,
play defense.
And I believe I was looking at Schwarber here because I think I got sniped.
I mean, I like Schwarber this year. He absolutely tore it up in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at his numbers. It's like, what is it?
And he improved against lefties last year a little bit.
38 home runs, 92 RBIs. I mean, even if that regresses slightly, the power aspect of it.
And what's his name? Is it Roto Nino or is it Mike Kurland? One of the Fantrax guys is just absolutely all Schwarber this year.
Okay.
He's just all in. There's Hendricks, like I said, 50 picks later than Soroka. Both guys that could have similar ratios, similar strikeout numbers.
Man, that is a lot later.
Yeah.
All right. How do you feel about Dinelson LeMay?
I don't know. I've seen it on Twitter. Like, people are worried he doesn't have a third pitch, but I don't know. The two pitches he has are pretty fucking good. I don't know. 137. Like, I don't know. That's not too bad. Plays in a good pitcher's park. I think I'd be willing to roll the dice on him there, but I think I might take Boyd over him actually. I know it's the same round, but I think I'd probably take Boyd.
Well, look how much later I got Boyd. Yay!
Yeah, I don't know. He's a hard one to figure out. Yeah, beyond that, I think Jorge Polanco's boring, but another nice pick if you need some average help.
Yeah.
Great. And Minnesota's lineup is bonkers.
It's kind of like that average car wash.
Yeah, he's going to get you 280 average, 25 plus home runs. And like I said, with that lineup, his counting stats should be good.
And we'll talk about ratio car washes.
Yeah. So now we're in the middle rounds.
11.
And,
yeah.
That's where it starts getting the starting pitching is starting to get really bad at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you start to make your money when it comes to the draft. Like, no one really cares about the first 5 picks.
Did I not say that? Who did I say that to?
Who?
I swear I said that. I swear I said. Did I say that to you?
Say what to me?
I don't know. I said that to somebody.
Talking about the middle rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's true though. Like, no one cares about, oh, look at my four guys, look at my start. Like, it's fun, but where leagues and championships are won is the middle and late rounds. Like, you know what I mean? That and of course the waiver wire, but in the draft, like, this is where you make your money.
Somebody must have asked me about that. I forget who it was, but I was like, yeah, this is where you start making your money. This is where you got to win.
Yeah, because you can find huge profits in these rounds. Let's go to round 11. I'll go ahead and start it. You completed your turn with Kyle Tucker. Then it went Buxton, Encarnacion, Ryu, Calhoun, Edmund, J.D. Davis, Alex, Price, Weaver, Yuli, Neris, Julio Urias, Will Smith, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Pick 165.
So both Gurriels go in the same round.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
I noticed that immediately.
I think Lourdes, Yuli's kind of boring, but I needed a first baseman. But Lourdes at Lourdes or wherever,
yeah,
165 could be a freaking bargain.
He's a guy I really liked, really had my eyes on, but I was thinking maybe a round later. That didn't happen.
Yeah, I think 165 is fine. This is a guy that I think
the power speed combo. Yeah,
yeah. I think he's now up to like 600 major league plate appearances for his career, and in those he's hit 36 home runs with like 12 steals. So essentially, he's played one full regular season and put up 30-10 or 30-12.
Okay.
So if he I don't know if he'll do that this year, but yeah, he's definitely a guy that, especially there, like, oh, I can get a guy that 30 dongs and chip in 10 plus steals. Well, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, it hit 280. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Buttskin.
Avoid
at all costs, right?
Probably. I think I told you guys that stat. In the X Stats era, in the StatCast era, I'm sorry, which is like 5 years old now, he has the worst launch angle variance which pretty much means just swings all over the fucking place.
Yeah, he's just hacking out there.
The worst among all hitters in the StatCast area and launch angle variance. So I don't know. 152. At least it's not like 2 years ago. Remember 2 years ago he was going like 50s.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? Like 100 picks higher or something like that.
Yeah, I just never could get on board. No thanks.
I think Edwin's another just good value, a boring vet. You know what I mean? Especially
Edwin Encarnacion, yeah.
Yeah. Just okay. I don't have a first baseman. Oh, let me get the guy that's pretty much a lock for 35 home runs. No problem.
And that's what this guy did.
Yeah,
that's Nate. It's Nate Dig. Yeah, Nate, what'd you do, buddy?
Yeah,
I'd prefer Edwin as like a second, like a corner infield, but
you prefer not to have him as your starter. But if you happen to be at this juncture without one, then yeah, you could do a lot worse.
Yeah, Nate has a specific build going on here.
Yeah, and then Malik's the speedster. I think he was top like 70 or top 80 last year or something.
You know what?
It's 158. That's probably about as early. I prefer to take him closer to 200. He won't last that long.
Right.
But I mean, he's a rabbit. He's a one category guy.
So Will Smith went to the guy who drafted Mitch Garver 2 rounds ago.
So he already has 2 catchers by round 11. Folks, if you're listening, don't do that.
Don't do that. I mean, you could take if you've missed catchers that long, you might as well wait till this round to take your first one.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know you said like wait if you don't get the top 2, but I don't mind Will Smith here. I don't.
No. But we're saying having 2 already.
Yeah. Like if Will Smith is your first, or Wilco is your first, or Garver's your first year, yeah, it doesn't matter who it is. But but to already have 2, like 2, not in 2 where it's not like you got a stud and this is your second because like fuck it, why not? You know?
Yeah.
You know what this round reeks of to me? Desperation. Like, no, seriously, like David Price, oh, I'm desperate. Luke Weaver, oh, I'm desperate for a starter.
Yeah.
I mean, even you with Gurriel, oh, I'm desperate for a first baseman. Nate, oh, I'm desperate for a first baseman. Me, I'm desperate for an outfielder.
Well, I do like Price going if the trade actually happens. I like him much better in LA, of course.
Well, of course. Of course.
One of the best pitcher parks.
Even Edmund. Oh, I'm desperate. I gotta get a third base. I gotta get some kind of utility type guy.
I need more steal.
Yeah, I need speed. Exactly. That's what I was saying. This round just reeks of desperation.
Yeah, I see what you mean. All right, let's go to round 12.
Like Hector Neris. Yeah. Okay. Let's see how much more desperate this round gets.
I like the names at the top are better already.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Reynolds, Justin Turner, Christian Walker, Hunter Dozier, Adam Eaton, Andrew McCutcheon, Salvador Perez, Emilio Pagan, Will Smith, the relief pitcher, the relieve yourself pitcher, Brandon Workman, Joe Adell. We'll talk about that. Chris Davis, Aristides Aquino. Yeah, Aristides Aquino. Alex Verdugo. And this was after that Dodgers trade was announced, obviously. I was really hoping to take Verdugo on this turn here because of the trade.
I think he's a Benintendi clone, but 80 picks later.
Well, and I don't know, like if you can get him that late, and
which I'm saying, like I'd rather take Verdugo at 180. Like I think Benintendi, even he's going as low as he's had.
Right.
Maybe he rebounds, but no, I'd rather draft Benintendi in this round.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, if you can, yeah, why not? Verdugo. Again,
you took your boy Didi.
Yeah, because I needed a short desperation. I needed a shortstop. Yeah.
Is it Didi's guy that he's just going to keep moving up as we get towards March. He's just going to keep moving up draft boards. I mean,
I think he has to. I'm honestly surprised he was
I mean, he's already
Still
moved
there.
there. Remember our early mocks, December, January. He was going after 200.
Right. Give me
He's
just
at Citizen.
one. You carry this, James. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, him at Citizens Bank Park. He pulls the ball. I mean, he couldn't ask for a better fit there, as far as him being a lock for probably 25 home runs or more. That's how deep shortstop is. You can get a 270 average, 25 home runs from a shortstop at pick 180. So I don't have a problem with that. Adam Eaton's boring, but always underrated. It's going to give you average, probably 15-15. Justin Turner's another boring vet. If you missed on third baseman, don't worry, it's deep. Hits in the middle of a great lineup. Probably hits you 280 or higher. 25 bombs, and then I know we both like Reynolds.
Oh yeah, I was thinking like this Gurriel Jr. Reynolds, combo at the end here, the turnaround. That might be my favorite turnaround of the draft. I mean that too.
Yeah. No, I like those names as they come around. Like I said, Reynolds has a really similar projection to McNeil, who went, 80 picks sooner?
Yeah.
Now, I know he plays second base, okay, but still. Reynolds is a guy that when you're in these TGFBI leagues, there's a lot of smart people in the room. He's not gonna last till whatever his ADP is now, which I think is a round or two lower than where he went here. Like, people know what's up. They're gonna take him at this juncture.
Who are we talking about?
Reynolds.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And again, if you haven't had a catcher yet, Salvador Perez is your first catcher at 172. Yeah, I would do that all day. That's definitely a guy I'll prioritize.
Yeah.
For a bounce back, 5-0 catchers, take him there, and then my second catcher will be one of my last few picks.
Yeah, at that point, I'm waiting.
But Aquino, in our early mocks, he was going like 140s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he was starting to go up.
No, I get it. No, I get it. The average is probably going to fucking be terrible. If his swing and miss is really bad, like he struggles for a long stretch, that's a crowded outfield. Maybe he sits the pine here and there, so it's risky, but don't at 178, perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's a pretty high reward pick there that late. I like it. I mean, what'd we do? We swung around again, right?
Yep, going around 13 here.
Okay. That was which direction are we going? Left or right?
I got it. So around 13, you finished your wrap after you took DD. You started around 13 with Minaya, then went Maeda, then Kingery, Jock, Haney, Canning. This is when you start getting to the upside pitcher range.
Yeah.
Brandon Lowe, Herman Marquez, DeYoung. It's pronounced DeYoung, correct, Andrew?
Yeah, DeYoung.
All right, I didn't fuck it up. Sweet. All right, Carlos Martinez, Mitch Keller, Smelly Odorizzi, McCullers, Hampson, and McMahon. So pick 195 finishes the round with a Rocky. All right.
Back-to-back Rockies, no less.
Yeah. So thoughts? What stands out here in this round?
Smelly Odorizzi. I like. That's nice. Might as well.
I mean, yeah. Given what's left, I don't have a problem with it. I didn't really like. I like Keller, but I definitely jumped ADP quite a bit. I don't know if I'll have to do that in the real thing, but that's probably a bit too soon in retrospect. If you look at his underlying numbers in his little cup of coffee, he was really unlucky. I think he had, as far as pitchers go, with at least 40 innings pitched, he had the worst BABIP among all pitchers. Okay. So a bit unlucky there. Who did you? Okay, you took Minaya. I don't know what to make of him this year. Obviously, his results were good when he finished the season. I don't know what to make of him there.
Well, I got him later. I got him after his ADP. I'm not sure what his ADP is, but I was like, you know what? I'll go with the upside here. Like, again, obviously, Odorizzi would have been a guy I'm looking at. Canning was a guy I thought about.
His NFBC ADP for Minaya is 172.
Okay.
So pretty close, but
All right, maybe I was going off of the Fantrax ADP.
Yeah, Trax is different. Who did you take, Andrew?
Griffin Canning.
Oh, Griffin Canning. Okay, yeah, another young upside pitcher. I like Canning quite a bit.
Look what you did, Andrew. Look what you did to Mama.
I forgot what it was, but I tweeted something out about his slider. It was one of the best sliders in the game last year. I think he was, as far as swinging strikes, he was just after on the slider. He was just after Luis Castillo and Clevenger as far as generating swinging strikes with a slider. But he threw like 200 less of them, but yet had the same amount of swinging strikes with it. So his slider is fucking absurd. I like him quite a bit this year. And then Haney, sorry I'm rambling. That's another guy I mentioned you on that graph where it had like 2 dots on the far right because of later ADP. Boyd was one, Haney was the other one as far as K to walk ratio.
Okay.
Innings pitch could be a concern, but I mean we're at pick 185.
Yeah.
You can take your upside with your pitcher if you want. It's fine.
Yeah, shoot your shot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the 3 second baseman, potentially second baseman, possible second baseman, with playing time issues.
Oh, okay.
With might be timeshare issues.
Yeah. Brandon Lowe. I mean, he was atrocious against left-handed pitching. He does have a little bit of power speed combo, but there is a concern that if he continues to struggle with lefties and just strikeouts in general, that he could fall into some kind of platoon. So I don't think I'm gonna probably have many shares, if any, in redrafts this year. Hampson, that's a little cheaper than last year, but again, playing time issues, like you said. Do we ever trust the Rockies? No, we don't.
Right.
And
McMahon.
I know, Andrew, you still like McMahon, don't you?
I do, as to do really like McMahon. I mean, obviously the Rockies mishandle every single prospect they come upon, but I think they're finally at a point where they're gonna let him start.
Just run with it.
Yeah.
And he's kind of a jack of all trades.
Where are they going to let him run?
I think he's gonna play. I think I would, if there's Arenado doesn't get anywhere in the trade deadline, I think McMahon would get more time at second than Hampton.
That wouldn't surprise me. I think he hit 20-something bombs last year. I actually expect his average to come up a little bit. I mean, it's hard to hit 250 on the season when you play in cores. So I think he's more of a 260s hitter, maybe 270 if everything goes right. But yeah, I might take McMahon over Hampson, even though speed is a thing. Now, if you told me Hampson was getting 500 plate appearances, okay, I'm taking Hampson because speed kills. But I think I'd lean towards McMahon, and of course, the guy that took him is a Fantrax writer that took McMahon, so he's not a dummy.
Right, and Hampson could be in the outfield too, so
he could. I mean, it's a cluster there, and another Rocky, Herman Marquez.
Yeah, Rockies. What are you doing, Rockies?
Yeah. Last year he was going about 100 picks sooner.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a weekly format in the TGFBI. It's just, even at 188, which isn't early by any stretch, I still don't think I can draft him in weekly leagues because he could sit on your bench for a third, maybe in a half of the season. I mean, if you're coming up, you're like, oh, let's see. Okay, he's a 2-start pitcher this week. Awesome. They're both at cores. You can't start him. You absolutely cannot start him.
Yeah.
Or if even one's at cores. Oh, he's at home versus the Padres, and he's on the road against the Dodgers. Like in weekly leagues, you
can't manage around it.
Yeah. You're spending a 13-round pick on a guy that might not be in your starting lineup for like a third of the time.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, and that's brutal. That's suboptimal. That's not what you want to do. That's
not upside. You know what I mean?
And he has the skills, but like I was telling someone. But cores suppress his skills, so stop telling me about his skills. It's cores. This is what it does.
Yeah. It's
yes,
cooler. It's like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, yes, it scores. It's great. But
man.
it suppresses skills.
Yeah. Okay, so sliding at the turn here with Roto Nino. Joe Musgrove going for a starting pitcher there. Sandy Alcantara, Luke Voigt, Alex Colomé, Stripling, Strip Daddy. You got your Stripling.
Yeah.
Carter Kieboom, Daniel Murphy, Marcus Stroman, Lorenzo Cain, Mark Hanna, Justin Upton, Hansel Robles, Wilson Ramos, Gene Segura, Omar Narvaez.
Narvaez.
That's funny.
Okay.
I've always thought it was Navarez.
Yeah, me too.
Oops.
Like, I never saw that R.
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry, guy.
I've noticed in every mock, Andrew, you wound up with Kanha.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't blame you. He's one of those, mid-later round guys that, I don't know, he has some decent underlying metrics. You could do a lot worse. I remember he's the guy that I tried to acquire from Jose in one of our dynasties. And Jose has a team that should be rebuilding, and he wouldn't let Kanha go.
Oh, Jose.
But anyway, so I guess Strip Daddy's not on the move. I guess he's technically still in LA, or is that what's going on?
Well, we don't know. I mean, the whole Mookie Betts thing is kofefe, and apparently the Twins are out, but then the Twins are back in, and I mean, it's just fucking. The whole thing's fucking cocked sideways.
Yeah, it is fucked. Lorenzo Cain at 204. I mean, yeah, he's old man, but at 204, I'll take a guy that will maybe knock in 15 dongs with 20 steals. I think he can still touch 20. Pick 204.
In a 5x5, yes. In our league setups, the 6x6, absolutely not.
Yeah, because the slugging and
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, but in this standard 5x5, pick 2-0 something. I mean, that to me, that's a buy. Column is kind of boring, but again, for some reason, you still don't have a closer. For some reason, he keeps outperforming his peripheral. So I'd probably roll the dice if I was desperate and didn't have a closer.
Yeah, I'm afraid of column A.
I am too, for the reason I just said. But like I said, if you have one, you're just like, all right, I'll pop one. Because some of these rounds, it's like, I don't know. Well, I guess I don't have a closer. Oh, fuck it, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's same thing for catchers. Like, I mean, look, we got Ramos and Narvaez.
Yeah, and that article too about the catchers retaining most of their value, it specifically mentioned, and this is something a lot of we do and a lot of players do, especially mentioned you either go early or go late as fuck. So I don't know if I'm taking catchers in the middle rounds too often.
Yeah.
If he's your first guy, okay, maybe, but yeah. But anyway, all right, we were coming up to the last round. I can't believe we're gone on over an hour. All right.
Okay. Well, I wanted to say one thing about Kieboom here.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I just think so we don't know exactly what's going on there, but it sounds like maybe he's going to play for third base.
Yeah.
But even then, there may be playing time issues, and I really like the guy, but like when it was more clear that he was going to be like
going to play,
yeah, like so that situation I'm soured on as the preseason has gone on here.
Yeah. All right, so let's wrap up the first half of this draft, round 15.
All right, Andrew, you want it round 15?
Yeah, go for it.
Austin Riley, Archie Bradley, Jose Leclerc, Kevin Newman, Don Doolittle, Mike Fultonevich.
Nailed it.
Dustin May, Sensu Chu, David Peralta, Avisail Garcia, Giovanni Gallegos, Dylan Carlson, Nick Senzel, Caleb Smith, and Sean Murphy.
All right, so prospects are starting to get sprinkled in now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
when I look at this round, though,
Sorry.
I don't look at the prospect so much as Senchu Chu at 218 is pretty nice.
Yeah, he's just another boring dude. He's
Yeah.
always in that 200, 250 range lately. That, okay, here's 20 dongs, 10 steals, and probably 90 runs.
Yeah, let me just plug that right into my fourth outfield slot.
Yeah, fourth, or if you're lucky enough, fifth. I mean, depending on
Yeah.
your team. But yeah, I mean, you'll take him at fourth or fifth all day. He keeps getting it done, and his underlying numbers was like he's still hitting the ball hard. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, get on the choo-choo train.
I love it.
Carlson, we all like Carlson. If you're gambling on playing time, of course, but I think I might be willing to gamble at this juncture. Maybe it's a little early because of play appearances issues.
Yeah.
Upside, because he's like,
it's no secret the current starting Cardinals outfield's pretty trash, so it wouldn't be that shocking to see him come up early.
Yeah.
Another Cardinal. I love Gallegos this year. I don't know if he'll close, but I know C-Mart, from the reports I've read, C-Mart would prefer to start. I don't know if they'll give him that opportunity, but if they do, Gallegos could be lights out.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's at least initially Andrew Miller would take the role.
Which would be a mistake in my opinion.
It would be a mistake, but I mean, if you remember back to the last playoffs, Carlos Martinez really struggled when he was closing towards the end of the season, and they still didn't stick Gallegos there. You know, I would love to see him close. He's the best guy in the Cardinals pen, but I don't trust them to put him in that role.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it shakes out. I mean, if Martinez gets a shot, then suddenly.
Uh-oh. Did I lose you guys both?
I'm here.
No, we lost Cubby. No, that's the problem with podcasting sometimes. We lost our buddy Cubby, but he was gassed up about Gallegos. Me too. I mean how are you not, you know?
I mean, it's pretty clear. It's he is the best pitcher in their bullpen. I don't know if they're gonna stick him in that role.
Right. Well, again, another guy that you love in a 6x6 league. Okay, I got a text message here from Cubby. It says, lost connection. Oh, well, good pod. Okay, so he's going to drop out. Thanks for joining us, Cubby, at Cubby Knoll on Twitter, CUBBYNOLE. Okay, so I guess just wrapping up there with the 15th round. What I wanted to do was pull up the, what do you call it? Oh, the projections. Begging my pardons. I'm trying to find this stuff while I'm trying to hold the podcast. So right now, projections have the standings as Connor, 101. These are all going to be vague names if you're not in the league. Corey, Cubby, so James, the guy we were just talking to, he's got 93 points projected, and he's in third place. Let's see. Roto Nino. Oh, okay. Dynasty One Stop. That's Nathan. He's 85, so he's fifth. Roto Nino's behind him. What is that, sixth? I can't count. Yeah, okay. Anyways, some people, blah, blah, blah. Some more people. Oh, then there's you in 13th place, and then there's me in 14th place.
That's interesting to me. Does it like give you the projections on why? I'd probably assume it was my pitching, but
these are based on I believe Steamer stats, and so you are like, let's see, like we have a heat map here. This will all be on an article on fantasysportsaddicts.com, so you can see this. Give me a minute to put that up and post this as well. But yeah, you can see like who's leading which category. So like, the darker the green, the darker the red, that kind of thing. I have pretty dark green Ks, but that's about it. Some red. I have the darkest red possible for ERA, so that's not good. But you saw what I was taking, right? With the what's his name? Detroit starting pitcher.
That Boyd.
Yeah, that didn't help. Ooh. You also are in the red for ERA. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, not surprised.
And yeah, I don't know. I guess there's not really a whole lot of excitement to talk about. Again, these are goofball projections. Projections are just bullshit anyways.
They are.
Nate's looking pretty good, pretty balanced. No, he's got a few reds. Let's see. James, where's Cubby? Do. Yeah, he doesn't. He's only got like one orangish sort of thing. His saves are pretty light, but that's not the worst because there's a couple of guys with no saves. So, fuck it. And then, yeah, everything else it's like yellow or slightly green. His average is the best in the league. It looks like. How did he manage that?
And
Interesting. All these ERAs are fairly close. Again, it is roto, so you're talking about like, hundredths of a percentage of a point. Like 392, 393, 396. So there's going to be like ties and like stupid little ranges. But yeah, projections, they're fun to look at. Yeah. What do you think? How do you feel about your team so far?
Pitching. That's what I need. But if I could have this offense, I feel like it's really balanced. I've got steals from Story and Edmund, power from Mancini, Canna, Judge, Franmil. If I could have this offense on draft day, I'd be happy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, we're actually a little bit ahead of this. We're about 5 rounds ahead of this again. So, right, we're wrapping up the middle rounds.
Yeah.
At this point, but you can see where we're going. Teams start to clarify at this point. Like, okay, now we see what's, and some of those like awkward, like, oh my god, I only have 2 closers and everybody else has 3 closers. Like some of that stuff starts to balance out at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not such a huge swing in the points when you see the standings. So we'll have fun with that when we're done. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about my team. I feel more educated about these TGFBI drafts. Well, I'll say that. Like the third draft in, the first one, well, there's like 1A and 1B. 1A was bullshit and we killed it. 1B was good. That was the FSAA TGFBI. That was good. This is better though. Like I feel like even though it's not like a bunch of big names, at this point, most of us are pretty familiar with what's going on in the draft.
Yeah.
Like at any position or more or less any point in the draft, like early picks, middle picks, late picks. So we know what to expect, even though, there's always going to be wild cards but I feel like at this point, like, all right, let's do the real thing. I'm ready.
Yep. Let's go.
We'll do it though. It opens up on what is it, February 24th?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. February 24th. We'll be doing TGFBI, like conversations and such. Hopefully we'll know what our draft position is. Do we know like right away? I think we do.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I know you can set like your preferred now, but I don't know when it gets released.
Okay.
Because I'm already in my league. I've set my preferred ADS on what I want, but we don't know it yet.
Okay. I haven't been able to get into my league. Kind of bogus. Yeah. That's all right. Well, I guess we should wind this up, look for an article on fantasysportsaddicts.com. Andrew, are you going to be doing any kind of articles for this?
For this particular draft?
Any drafts?
Yeah.
What do you got? Do you got anything? Tell me what you got. Give me all you got.
Yeah. I'm trying to release at least one article a week over on the Fantasy Front Office website. Dealing with different topics based on all these different mocks we've been doing.
Okay. You've been doing all kinds of stuff. You did the CBS, right?
Yeah, I got a ale only auction draft coming up.
Okay, that'll be good. I got Bull Durham coming up later tonight. Yeah. It's a great baseball movie if you haven't seen it.
Actually, don't think I have.
Check it out. It's very important. It's one of those important movies in the baseball movie lexicon. It's up there with The Natural in a lot of ways.
I haven't seen that either.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, we're going to get Andrew educated on baseball movies before this goes much further. Andrew, my gosh. Okay, all right. Well, that's enough of that madness. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. Close the Fantasy Sports Serenity Prayer. Fantasy gods, please grant me the serenity to set my ideal lineups, the courage to ad drop aggressively, the wisdom, as always, to make good trades. Amen. Andrew, at FantasyAid1 on Twitter. I am at letter F, letter S, the word double, letter A, at FSAA. Also, FantasySportsAddicts.com.